Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Psychology Network, and today's topic which we would be covering is, as you can see, forgetting. Forgetting is the part of Unit 5 of UGC Net Syllabus, and forgetting is the last topic which you would see. Now, before going into the causes of forgetting, let's see what is forgetting. Forgetting is failure to recall or retain information. So there are two things happening. Failure to recall means information is there in the memory. The problem is in the retrieval. But the second one, when there is a failure to retain information, what this means is that information is not even stored in the memory. So there is no way to retrieve it. These are the two ways we can define forgetting. Now, what are the causes of forgetting? Let's go to the first cause. The first cause of forgetting is interference theory. What is interference theory telling us? Interference theory suggests that information gets confused with other information in the long term memory. This happens in two ways. First, by what we have previously learned. So, we have learned something here, and then we have learned a second information. So, this is interfering with this. This is essentially called proactive interference. What is this saying? Old information is hindering the recall of newly learned information. I'll give you an example of proactive interference. Date. When we go to a new year, if you have gone from 2022 to 2023, so when we write the date, from the first month at least, we would be usually writing 2022, and then afterwards we write 2023. But this is where the old information, because the previous year it was 2022, we have learned that the old information is hindering the new information, which is 2023. What is the other way of interference? It is by what we will learn in the future. This is called basically retroactive interference. Basically, information which is learned, newly learned, is hindering the recall of older information. How? I'll give you an example. Suppose we are studying intelligence theory. Today we studied Gardner's theory, and tomorrow I'm studying Guilford's theory. And after studying, because these two are a little bit similar, so after studying Guilford's theory, what may happen is that when we have to recall Gardner's theory, we might say few aspects of Guilford's theory. So this is how the new information is affecting the older information. This is the first cause of forgetting. The second cause of forgetting is amnesia. Now, amnesia is not always retrieval failure, and retrieval failure is actually a part of amnesia. Amnesia is a broader term. Amnesia means that it is the loss of memory. Now, there can be biological amnesia, and it can be because of abnormal functioning of the brain. So, let's see the first type of amnesia. It is the transient amnesia. Transient amnesia is the state of loss of capacity to retrieve the stored information due to certain factors. What could the factors be? Like carbon monoxide poisoning, epileptic fits, electroconvulsive therapy, hypoglycemia, internal injury in the brain. These can affect the retrieval process. This is called transient amnesia. The second is organic amnesia. This usually results from some kind of neurological damage to the brain or some kind of brain tumor. Sometimes the brain tumor increases so much that it causes organic amnesia. Another word for organic amnesia is global amnesia, where there is a massive loss of memory. These two are very important: retrograde amnesia and anterograde amnesia. This was given by a few neuropsychologists. So, this is very important for the exam. What is retrograde amnesia? What happens? Memory of events prior to the amnesia inducing event is impaired. People get confused in retrograde amnesia and anterograde amnesia very easily. Okay, so I'll make a diagram here. This is, suppose, amnesia inducing event. In retrograde amnesia, what is happening? So some event has taken place, something or the other has taken place, which is amnesia inducing. But which part of the memory is affected? It is the events prior to this events are affected. So before the amnesia inducing event took place, those memories are affected. People might not be able to remember completely their past or specific periods, and but people can are able to usually maintain exact knowledge about the present world, and they can preserve the perceptual processes, and all these social skills are maintained. In anterograde amnesia, what is happening is that individuals cannot remember events that occur after amnesia. After amnesia inducing event. Suppose this is the amnesia inducing event, and after that, whatever memory is being formed, it is not being able to retain. Suppose, uh, why isn't it able to be retained? Because the LTM is impaired. But the short term memory is effective. Like patients may process information from different sources but are sadly unable to transfer them to the long term memory. There was even a Hollywood movie, as far as I can remember, which had shown anterograde amnesia. I think it was first 50 dates. You can check that out. So every day the woman is meeting a man, the same man, but she is not able to remember that person the next day. This is anterograde amnesia. So in the short term memory, the person's identification is going, but it's not going till the long term memory. That is why the next day they not able to remember that person. The third is trace decay. So what this theory is saying is that any kind of memory, when it is formed, it leaves a trace. It leaves a trace in the brain in some form of physical or chemical change in the nervous system. Now, why is forgetting happening? Because it occurs as a result of automatic decay. Automatic decay is happening because there is no rehearsal of that information. Even though it is leaving some kind of physical or chemical change, which is the trace, so-called trace in the brain, but uh, because there is no rehearsal of that trace, there is an automatic decay. It's because of trace decay can be the two important thing in the trace decay is the time and the limited duration of the short-term memory. Usually short-term memory, what they are saying, can only hold information for 15 to 30 seconds, until and unless it's rehearsed. The moment it's rehearsed multiple times, then it goes to the long term memory. But in the information which is not rehearsed, it can stay in the short term memory for only 15 to 30 seconds, and over time the information gets decayed. After 30 seconds, 45 seconds, the information is completely decayed from the short term memory. So that is what they are saying. After this 15 to 13 seconds, the information decays and fades away. Trace decay can be explained by the retention curve or the forgetting curve. This is the retention curve or the forgetting curve. This one which you're seeing. This side is the retention, this side is the time period. What are they saying? 100% retention is when there is 5 seconds. Then 80% you can see when the 10-second has passed. 60 seconds when there is 15. 60% can only be recalled at 15 seconds. Like this, when there is 0%, it is at 30 seconds, there is 0% retention. Means the information has been decayed. The fourth one, which we would be talking about, is motivated forgetting. The other word is repression. This is the powerful and the purposeful blocking of the memory. The kind of memory, not all kind of memories are repressed. The memories which are repressed are traumatic in nature for the person and causes individual pain and causes something called ego anxiety. If it comes up, it would cause anxiety to the person. The concept was given by Sigmund Freud in his theory of personality. Where does this repression goes to? When repression happens, where does this information goes to? It goes to the unconscious mind, and directly the memory might not come up, but it may come up in the form of psychological problems. Suppose a person has gone through certain kind of abuse throughout his childhood, so he would like to repress those memories for his own survival, his own safety. But later those abusive memories might not come up, but it may come up in form of depression or anxiety or any other psychological problem. So Rappaport in 1942 had given an example of motivated forgetting, which is selective forgetting, and this is known as fugue. This can be a question in UGC Net. So motivated forgetting, if the question is something like, does motivated forgetting means that the information is not there in the memory completely? No, memory is not lost. Like in trace decay we just studied, memory is lost, but in motivated forgetting, memory is not lost, but just the repression of memory has happened. It is still there in the unconscious mind. So this was your motivated forgetting, and these were all the causes of forgetting, and these are all given in the UGC Net syllabus, and I've taught exactly as it is given in the syllabus. Thank you so much for listening in, and like and subscribe the channel if you like the videos, and because this is one stop solution for all your psychology exams. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.